1 cake mix, whatever flavor you like, and then depending on which type you have, I've got 1 cup of water, I've got a 1/3 cup of oil, and 3 eggs to make the cake mix, but just make sure you double check specifically what yours calls for. And to do this, you're going to want to match it up with a frosting that goes with it. I've just got cream cheese. I know I've done it with red velvet and cream cheese. I've done it with strawberry and strawberry frosting. You can do it with chocolate cake and mint ice cream, kind of whatever flavors that you really like. And then what you're also going to need is either a bark, a confectioner's disc, or a candy coating. And just a little note, you're going to need quite a while because you've got different stages where you have to put it in the refrigerator and in the freezer. So just be warned that it's well worth it, and it's quite easy, but it does take a bit of time. Alright, I've prepared the cake mixture according to the box. All you're going to do is you're going to bake it, and then you're going to let it cool for 30 minutes. Once your cake is cooled, then all you're going to do is you're going to put it into a bowl. Crumble it up into smaller pieces while you're doing it, or I usually just wait and kind of do it afterwards. Once you have the entire cake in a bowl, then all you're going to do is you're going to blend it down. Blend it into smaller pieces. All you're going to do is you're going to take your frosting and you're going to put it into the bowl. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to blend that all together. Once you've got that all blended together, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to cover up your bowl with saran wrap, and then you're going to want to refrigerate it for at least 3 hours. I typically do mine overnight. Alright, the frosting and cake has been sitting in the fridge overnight, so you're just going to want to get that out. And then I've also got 2 cooking tray or baking trays that I've covered with wax paper. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take a melon baller and you're going to take them out. And try to get them as round as possible. If you do not have a melon baller, you can do this by hand and just make them into small circles. Now that you have them all made, all you're going to do is you're going to put them in the freezer for 1 to 2 hours. Alright, I've got the cake balls in the freezer, and what you're going to want to do is I've got some water that's simmering. You don't want it to be boiling. And then I'm just going to put a bowl over top, and you do not want the water to touch the bowl. Then all you're going to do is you're going to add in your chocolate to get it melted. And you can technically melt it in the microwave, but it makes it quite a bit harder just because the chocolate will warm up. So it's a lot easier if you actually do it either in a bowl over some simmering water or on a double boiler. Alright, now that that's your chocolate's all melted, all you're going to do is you can either take a toothpick and you're just going to dip it in the chocolate and kind of twirl it around to make sure the whole thing gets covered. And then all you're going to do is you're going to put it back on. You'll take a second toothpick and just take it off, and then I usually try to make sure that the chocolate gets covered up there. If you have an Easter egg dipper, actually those work quite well. And I've also tried it just like with some little tongs and stuff like that. But then all you're going to do is you're just going to dip each one and then put it back on your sheets so that they can cool and set up. As you can see, I've got these all dipped in chocolate. One little trick, if you're doing it and they start to soften up a little bit while you're dipping in the chocolate, I'll switch out and put that tray back in the freezer, and then get the one that's in the freezer out just so that they don't start to get a little bit goopy. So otherwise, I store them in the refrigerator and you're ready to serve. So hope you enjoy.